Yo, it is the stock market recap where I teach you how to use technical analysis. So let's use that. Let's read the chart and see if we can get any insight for what can potentially happen next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. We can have a conversation. Give me that thumbs up. Really helps me out big time, so I appreciate it. Now, we know with technical analysis, all we know is that the market is going to move. We never know where it's going to go. We just know it's going to move. So let's see where it's going to move potentially next week. The S&P closed at 4,488.28. So let's break down what we've seen this week. First and foremost, we always observe what the trend is. We've had an uptrend for a while, and recently that has been broken. So now we need to make sure that that uptrend is going to continue. And if we got any clues, let's see if we can find them. We had our bullish engulf, and then the market moved up towards that 20-day moving average. And we talked about this last week on how that can serve as resistance. So as you see, this week, it certainly was that resistance. I was looking to see if the market would play a tighter range in the S&P. It didn't. However, that resistance at the 20-day moving average did hold up. Last week's clue for why that might happen is because we saw the huge sell-off for when the market did move higher and did not hold that higher pricing. That led to a potential move back lower from this resistance point. Additionally, 4,600 has also been a resistance point. So we had two things in favor of the bears for that price to move lower. I think the market is going to continue to hold in this range. Only reason why I say that is because my indicators give me a little bit of help to figure that out. Now, we're going to see next week if the market is going to bounce back to try to get to that 4,600 level. And if it does, we'll likely see if it floats in that area. So that's going to be S&P. Let's check out the Russell. And you know we use ticker IWM. So IWM closed at 197.87. And we're going to take a look at how the price action broke down. Last week we talked about this continuing to move around that 200 range. And I said that based upon how the price action happened before above 210, where it hovered for a long time before it finally broke down. And now we have a situation where we're around that 210 again. So additionally on here, the 20-day moving average served as resistance. And it made a huge move lower because it was around 207, 209-ish. And then all of a sudden now it moved about $10 lower. So we're back around 200. Only thing we're going to take away from this is that we haven't broken any support, major support here around this 200 area. We have two lines that we've drawn from the past that have been upheld. It's around 196 and additionally around 190. I'm not going to see anything major happen unless we break that 190. Until that happens, I'm continuing to see this range play out. So we'll see what happens next week with IWM. Let's check out the Dow. And we use ticker $DJI for those of us on Thinkorswim. So yo, the Dow closed at 34,721.12. And let's check out the price action here. This one actually did what I thought it was going to do, which was play tight. I'm thinking that the Dow will also play tight in a small price range while it hovers near this 20-day moving average. It did also serve as resistance because it did not clear that as of yet, and it did make a spinning top. We're going to see if the bulls are going to be able to regain some traction here. Now, the market has moved lower for some time, and it's not done, in my opinion. However, I think there's going to be a power struggle between both sides to figure out who's going to take over what. And the Dow is going to be a great example of figuring out where that's going to happen. Because if this doesn't hold, we're likely going to move back to test that 33,000 area. And if we do that, it ain't gonna be good at that point. So that is the Dow. And lastly, let's check out the Nasdaq. We use ticker NDX. The Nasdaq closed at 14,327.26. And let's check out the price action. Okay, this looks very similar to what we had on the S&P. And the S&P showed resistance at that 20-day moving average. And the Nasdaq is the clearest of all of the indexes that things really aren't good. So tech, we're gonna have to keep an eye out here. This is a level that has been hanging around this 14, well, we'll just say 14,000, just to round it down. Around that 14,000 area, we want to see if that's going to hold up. If that holds up, then that gives a glimmer of hope for the bulls to come back, and we need to clear this 20-day moving average. All right, so let's recap here. All four indexes had pretty much the same result. 20-day moving average served as resistance. Now we're going to look to see if we can finally clear that 20-day moving average. It's not over yet. Now it did serve as resistance this week, but it hung pretty tight on all indexes besides IWM. IWM is the only one where it made a significant move lower when it tested that. However, we are still in a range that is showing some type of power struggle to where somebody's going to take over. So we're going to look for next week to give us guidance to see which side's going to win. And it's going to be a side you feed. So that's going to be it for this week. Check out the podcast, Stocks and Bars. New episode will be out this week. Check out the traction that's been going on there. Stocks and bars, the two things that I love putting together. And make sure that you take care of yourself out there, because no one's going to do a better job than you. Your health is your wealth. That's the best way for you to extend that wealth everywhere else. So go outside, get you some fresh air, drink your water, exercise. These are all very simple, basic things that you need to do to make sure you are good. And I'm about to enjoy my weekend. You do the same. We'll catch you later. Peace.